What on earth is that? It's a Journey into Comics Network production! All aboard!
I brought my pencil.
What do you wanna do with your life?
Walk on home, boy. Yeah.
Like anything gets to say like you did before. Make it ring, make it bleed, make it really.
What's up, Tutorinos? Welcome to another episode of Rank 'Em All Van Halen edition. Right here on the Rank 'Em All podcast, that show where we take a bunch of songs and albums and rank them all down one by one and figure out which songs or albums rise above the crop, the cream of the crop, if you will. Oh, yeah. I'm one of your hosts, Brando, Rank Master, whatever you want to call us. I don't know. We're ranking them. And I'm joined again, once again, here today by the Podfather, Nate Phillips.
Macho Madness is in the house today, brother. Dig it.
I would honestly... one day we got to rank the Macho Man album, the rap.
Oh my God, yes! Just as a fucking fun bonus.
Yeah.
Be a man, Hulk.
Be a man. Yeah, he's my perfect friend. Now, I actually feel bad making fun of that song because he dedicated that to Mr. Perfect, and he was coming from the heart from him.
Aw.
But it was just like he was my perfect friend, perfect till the end. It was just that. Look, and you know what? He did what he wanted to do. And today we have to do something that we don't want to do, and we have to listen to Van Halen 3.
Before that, though, we have good stuff. Come on now. But we didn't come alone.
No. Once again, welcome to the show. Good Times Grimes, Joe Grimes.
The Rank 'Em All Apprentice.
The Rank 'Em All Apprentice. the Rank Apprentice.
The Rank 'Em Rookie.
The rank
rookie. There we go.
I like that. The rank rookie. All right. So, today we're talking about Van Halen 3, but hold the freaking phone. Before that, we had the best of Volume 1. We already did one track off of that Human's Being, which was on the Twister soundtrack. And we did that on the last episode, on the last Sammy Hagar episode. However, the best of track listing, man, I tell you what. If there ever was a band that you could really do a really good best of, and it's Van Halen, because Van Halen has a lot of really great tracks, and they have a lot of some fat around the edges or some hidden, on a best of, you're not going to find those hidden gems though that we have found in there or some of those early Roth records. But I mean, just as a track listing, really quick, Eruption. It starts with Eruption and then goes to Ain't Talking About Love and Running with the Devil. Dance the Night Away, and The Cradle Will Rock. Unchained, one of my favorite Van Halen songs. Jump, Panama. And then we go into the Hagar stuff. The Why Can't This Be Love, Dreams, When It's Love, Pound Cake, Right Now, Can't Stop Loving You, Humans Being, and then the last two tracks on this best of Volume 1, which there never was a Volume 2.
What a cool story, by the way, for this coming together.
Yeah. Absolutely. Nate, do you want to take over and tell the story?
So, interestingly enough, when Warner Brothers and Eddie had started talking about doing a best of, they got in contact with David Lee Roth. David immediately gets a hold of Eddie, like, wait, what's going on? Like, what can we do? And they start kind of making some amends. Like, they were at a point in their careers, I think, where they were both ready to kind of, bury the hatchet, as it were. And they decided, like, let's write a couple jams for this best of. So there's some new stuff that features us because there's a new song featuring Sammy. And it would be unfair to both eras if we didn't represent you in some way. I think it'd be a really cool thing to do. And of course, they agree on it. They're going to do 2 tracks, Can't Get This Stuff No More, which is hilarious because you will actually be getting a little bit more, surprisingly, but at the time maybe we didn't think so. And then Me Wise Magic, which I think was the single they used from this gathering first. But the most interesting, go ahead.
It wasn't the first one. The first single was actually Humans Being.
Well, I meant for between the two.
Oh,
because I don't think they did Can't Get This Stuff No More single. It was just
they did.
Did they really?
Yeah, that was the second. That was the third one. Yeah.
Wow.
The singles were Humans Being in October of '96, and then Me Wise Magic in November, and then Can't Get This Stuff No More in February of '97.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting, right?
All right. So, but what's more interesting is how short this all would last, because while MTV was heralding this great return of David Lee Roth, it was the CM Punk return they were all waiting for, as it were. It did not last very long. They didn't even get the Me Wise Magic video made. And just as quickly as he was back in the band, David Lee Roth was back out the door.
It's unfortunate too, because these are the first two tracks that we're going to be hitting before we dive into the album proper. Can't Get the Stuff No More first. I actually really liked this. This was very old. Like it's crazy that this was a brand new Van Halen song, because this sounds right out of the like something that they just got left behind. And maybe it was. Maybe that's how it started. But like this fits right in with some of their stuff. I mean, this. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that it's something that is way out there on any sort of for this to be on a greatest hits. I'm not sure if this would be on there per se, but I didn't mind it. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I was on the road for this one. How about you, Joe?
This is one like on the best of. When you first wrote down we were ranking this song, I was like, I've never heard this song before. But then I went through and I found it on the best of, and I'm like, oh, duh, yeah, I know this song. I don't know why for me the name of this song is so forgettable and I can't relate it to the song, but it's always been like that. And even now I'm like, I'm having a blank. It's like, how did that even go? But I do remember like listening to it yesterday, and this is all around like it's just a good song. Like, is it one that I'm going to remember like several years down the road off of the name of it? Probably not. But when I hear it, it's got a good groove to it. I gave this one an 8.
An 8 from Joe. How about Nate? What did you think about Can't Get the Stuff No More?
I think that to kind of parrot what you had said, Brando, it did come from the old era. It does sound like a demo track they forgot. Like, oh, we should just bring this out and put it out there and people will be about it, and maybe there was some truth to it. But it was really interesting to me because listening to the two bonus tracks, having no context, when I first heard the song, my first thought was like, where does this come from? So I thought like, oh, I'm going to read about how it was a Van Halen 2 demo that they left behind in the studio and found 20 years later, some bullshit. Wasn't even 20 years later, but you know what I'm saying. So that's not the case. I'm reading and I'm like, wait, they got back together for this? This is fucking cool. And as soon as I'm like, well, they obviously didn't stay together for long because we know what's coming next. So this one was like, okay, like not best of material, but it could have been, you could have lied and told me it was an old track and I would have been even more about it, I think. Because I'd have been like, oh my God, we're finally hearing a song we never heard before. But saying it's new and it sounds old was just kind of like, oh, okay, you guys kind of going back to the wishing well. I gave this one a 6.
I gave it a 7.5. I think it's a pretty decent little jam and a good track. The next one, Me Wise Magic, I feel like maybe not so. It's a little long. I kind of felt, honestly, like, now they jam. There's like Me Wise Magic is more of a jam from that perspective. But by the point it got to the 3-minute mark and we were hitting the chorus again, I'm like, okay, is the song over? No, we have literally 3 more minutes left. And granted, the last like 40 seconds is like a fade out, the song's over type deal. But it wasn't as good as the Can't Get the Stuff No More. It was close. This had more of the Dave kind of down here talking about how I don't know what he says, but it was just more of that. And I don't hate it. I don't think it teeters, and I docked it just a little bit. I gave it a 7. Nate, we'll start with you. What'd you think, and what'd you rank?
I like Me Wise Magic. I think that it's a fun, interesting track. Them, again, being outside their comfort zone. It was very popular when it released as a single. People were really excited. Again, it's the return of David Lee Roth to Van Halen. It's this great moment that does not last very long. So I give this one a 7.25.
And Joe.
It's kind of funny how you're talking about his vocals in the beginning, that little deep, crappy. That's actually kind of what I liked about it. Right? Yeah. I actually kind of like that because like we had, all the David Lee Roth's crap at the beginning, which all the like the vaudeville, all the stupid antic crap at the beginning. But this is like for me, this was like, that was like a little bit different, which is funny until Nate had said something about Dave coming back and doing those songs. I had no idea, because I always wondered growing up, like, okay, well, why are there 2 Dave songs at the end of the album? And also, like, Me Wise Magic didn't sound like anything early on in the greatest hits and all that, the very best of. And I never knew why. It's until now. And I kind of like that. It's not the same Dave as Van Halen or Van Halen 2 or like any of those early albums. It did have a different sound, and it's also that's been the cool part about doing this podcast, is there's a lot of crap that I've learned I didn't realize. And that's one of the things I liked about Me Wise Magic. I actually I gave this a little bit lower score than Can't Get This Stuff No More, but that's still all around a good song. I did a 7 on this one.
A 7. And that's what I did. I gave it as well. Just a plain 7. Just a plain 7. And now we're going to head right into
a brick fucking wall.
Well, it's like a cannonball shot to the gut, just like the album cover.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Whew,
the album cover said everything. It said everything without speaking.
Van Halen 3 was released in March 17th, 1998.
Did you see that Michael Anthony only played bass on 3 tracks?
I did. So I have something. He said something about that. Michael Anthony said that Eddie had recorded bass for the rest of the album, and that he confirmed that Eddie dictated how to play bass on the record. He told Michael what to play. And that he said by the time of making this album, Eddie was also playing more bass as well as drums.
Yeah.
I don't know if Eddie was basically making a solo record, which is what Van Halen 3 seemed like to me. A song.
Just the guitar.
Yeah. So Sammy's out. The reunion with Dave fell through, which is unfortunate. I felt like if Sammy's going to leave, just as we said, with it seems like you could have got back to basics a little bit, and almost maybe even made an album very akin to old meets new with Dave, and it probably would have went pretty well, because you would have had that nostalgia, you'd had the feel, and you would have had the energy, like they would have felt youthful again.
You mean David Lee Roth would be the only person on any of the albums that are titled Van Halen 1, 2, and 3? It would have been a dope bookend.
Yeah, absolutely. But we didn't get that, unfortunately.
They went to the Extreme.
Yeah, we did. We got Gary Cherone, who was the lead singer from Extreme. Not a bad vocalist, but honestly, I'm going to say right out of the gate, I don't feel like he fits.
Let me, because before we started, I told you guys it's probably going to be the shortest one we do because of my lack of notes. Listening to this album more than once was painful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And my biggest issue is this. Gary Cherone is a pretender in a land of real motherfuckers. Like, he's pretending in this album to be 7 different singers from 5 different bands. He's trying to be in some spots David Lee Roth. He's trying to be Sammy Hagar in a lot of the album. That's my biggest complaint. He tries to be Lane from fucking Allison Chains in a spot. He sounds like Bob Dylan in a fucking song, for God's sakes. Like, all these things encompassed. It's like, man, just be you. Do your shit. You know what is great about Extreme? Do you know what was great about Extreme? His vocals. Because he was just singing from the heart, not trying to be something else. He's trying to put on all these fronts in this album, and it is so painfully, brutally obvious that this was not. This is that, like, it could have been a decent album if it didn't say Van Halen on it.
So I actually have a quote from Gary Cherone that says, "I would have preferred to tour with them than put out a record. I would have. It would have been a better idea to establish myself first and then hit the studio with the band."
Right.
He said there were some great ideas and some little gems, but it was not a great record. I had fun, but at times I was like being a stranger in a strange land. So that's very interesting how Nate said he definitely felt out of place. Gary himself felt out of place. So how is this album supposed to end up being a really good album if Eddie is having such a big and if Eddie wants to make a really concerted solo album, go have at it, but it seems, I don't know. It just, I feel like Eddie was in a weird place. Obviously his relationship with Michael, this is Michael's last effort with the band, and he only played bass on like 1 or 2 tracks.
Yeah.
So
And it's obvious which ones they are too. Like I made a note after on the side of each track that he played on, and going through this, I'm like, dude, it's noticeable.
So it's a new world, and that's the first track, an instrumental, and probably one of my favorite tracks on the album.
I can say that based on ranking. It is my favorite track on the album.
I just wrote, it's a well-played instrumental. There's one thing that I'll never take away from Van Halen as a band, except for when they're making noise with Strung Out or losing control and lost control. There are some real duds in here. For the most part, they're a really well-rounded, seasoned band and like jamming and playing, and you're going to get a lot of really good stuff, and that's what I got here, and that's all my notes.
I thought the song was called Any World, not New World. Any World. I was like, okay. Musically, not a great start to the album. Just like, okay, it's Van Halen, cool. They're taking musical risks. Sure, yep, exactly. It's too mellow, way too mellow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing here, guys? Like, you have an opportunity to show people you got a new singer. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's not going to be great, guys. Yeah. New World, Any World,
Joe.
I thought it was a good song all around, but I wouldn't have started with this because, like, literally, I would have saved this for later. This is like what he's saying. Like, this is my strongest song of the album, I feel like, and it's gone. Like this, it's gone and over. This start with that, and the rest of it is just nothing to look forward to.
Joe, what'd you rank it?
I give this a 7.5.
7.5. Nate.
Booker T is the five-time WCW champion. I gave it a 5.
5-time WCW champion. Van Halen is down. Van Halen is down. I gave it a 7.
Batista is down.
yeah. Call back. So the next song is the radio single. This was the first hit single off of, if you want to call it a hit, off of the album.
Yeah, hit at 90 miles an hour with a fucking baseball to the face.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that Oakland A's dude take a hit right to the side of the ear.
Hey, do you want to know something crazy?
Huh?
Supposed to be at that game.
You were?
We got tickets through work, and I gave mine up so someone else could go, and I watched it on TV happen and was like, I was gonna be there. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, dude. Like
hardcore.
Like that was the White Sox game, right?
Yep.
Oh man, the dude got drilled.
Chris Bassett got hit right in the fucking temple, man.
Oh, boom, went down. Without You,
Bassett is down.
The guitar tone in this album sounds off-putting.
Bad.
It sounds off-putting. There's a good there's a lot of cool little guitar diddles in here, but that's typical Eddie. And I wrote the chorus is almost catchy. You almost get a catchy chorus in this song, but it doesn't quite get there. Nate.
No notes.
Joe.
It's just bad. It's just he's trying to be fucking Sammy Hagar right out
Exactly.
the gate.
This is what I have on this song. I said I thought Sammy left.
Would you rank it, Joe?
I did a 4.5 on this. This song could have been much shorter too. That's just the thing. I mean,
oh, dude, it's long as heck.
It is very long.
It's long as heck. It's like 6.5 minutes. It's not even the longest one on the.
Do you remember the music video for this one?
Vaguely.
What?
Vaguely. Oh yes. Oh yeah.
No, stop.
Yeah.
No,
It
I
was
actually
the hit
bought.
single.
I bought the collection, the very best of music video collection, and they had one Gary Cherone song on there, and it was this one. And they're all like what are they, like in a big like ice cave or some kind of crap? And they're all wearing like snowsuits and like our Eddie's got a pair of snow pants with boxers on over the top.
Okay, I'm going to YouTube right now.
Literally, dude, it's not good. It's the worst
Mm.
thing ever.
Mm.
Oh, it's so bad.
Nate, what'd you rank it?
2.
A 2. I gave it a 5. The next song. This isn't. This one. Oh my God! This next song is a fucking single.
Of course it is.
Not the one I would want.
Nor the one I would want. Did you read the lyrics to this damn song?
Nope.
I try not to.
Okay, so I wrote, starts off with an old Van Halen intro sounding, it's all right, okay. And then the vocals start.
Yep.
Poor man, you just want a little rich man, want a little more Superman. He looking for Lois, salesman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to sell you
I
his
forgot
soul.
about that.
Fat
Yeah.
man, he's ordering seconds. Pizza man just wants a slice. Bad man, looking for attention. Good man, he's hard to find. It goes on. Mailman, looking for your daughter. Straw man, don't have a leg to stand on. Gay man, looking for another. Candy man, yeah, the candy man can.
So bad.
Black man,
So bad.
you looking for justice. White man, try to get a tan.
I didn't catch that part.
Wool man, just wants to fly in first class. Holy man, take me to the promised land.
Oh my
Everyone's
God.
looking for
OnlyFans?
something, wanting their piece of the pie. Now, it continues. That wasn't it. The song is longer than that. Boogeyman, give me the creeps. Sandman, kicking mud in your eye. Piano man, kicking mud in the mood in your melody. Strong man, yeah, he knows how to cry. Ape man, ain't nobody's uncle.
Oh my. Oh my God. Why is this a thing? Why the hell is this a song?
Lucky man, you don't always know who they are. Dead man,
can't.
living more tomorrow. Wise man, following a star.
Oh my God.
Brandon, I'm ranking your version
Brandon.
better. What's your rank so far?
Oh God, I got nothing else like this. Like literally, okay. So you had the intro, you had Without You. I think I've heard that or have seen the video, like Joe said, the ice palace, the ice cave.
Yes.
So I
Oh my
heard,
God.
I knew, and then I got to this, and I'm like, all right, we are in another world. We are in
Oh, legit.
like we have now officially dropped off
Yes.
any sort of quality gate here. Does anybody else have anything to say after what I have said?
Boo. Boo.
I've got one positive thing though. Like, I mean, the only thing I can say positive about it is I did like Michael Anthony's bass line through the verse. That's literally all I can say about this.
I
Like,
didn't even pay attention to it with all the mailman and Batman,
I know, it was like
Spider-Man.
I had to really key in on, but like you can definitely tell it's Michael playing compared to like the rest of the shit that Eddie plays on this. But that's like the only thing positive I could take from the damn song was
That's
his
the
bass.
man.
What'd you give
Oh
it,
my
Joe?
God. Oh, dude, I gave this one a 3, bro.
3. Nate, what'd you give it?
1.25.
I love how you added the 2.5.
Oh man.
Did you bump it up a score just because of my performance? Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. I
Very
gave
nice.
it a 2.
Shit, they got me.
It's so good.
The next song is called From Afar. I wrote another cool intro, then the vocals start. Why are these songs so long?
No, exactly.
The,
Like, what the hell?
The album length here is 65 minutes and 22 seconds.
Of torture.
It's so bad. Reception for Van Halen 3 was mostly mixed to negative.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't agree with. Suffers from the same problems as the Hagar era Van Halen: limp riffs, weak melodies, and plodding, colorless rhythms.
Nope.
that was definitely worse than.
Next time I listen to this song, I will be listening from afar because
Legit.
it was not good.
Joe, do you
Yeah,
have
no.
anything to say?
Not one note at
Okay.
all.
All right, we'll just
The
go.
barking was better.
The barking was better. Fair enough.
Bark, man.
Bark, man.
From afar, Joe, would you rank it?
2.
2. Nate.
2.75. The bark popped it up.
Bark.
I gave it a 3.
Come here. Give me a star.
I'm mad though because the dog should have come in on the next track.
Yeah, Dirty Water Dog.
Oh, damn. We missed it by 1. Oh.
The Dirty Water Dog here. I wrote one line of notes. That's it. It sounds the most listenable so far.
My actual ranks will agree with you there.
And that's all I got. Joe, what do you think?
I tried not to think on this. Let's see that. This, no, man. Yeah. I got nothing.
There's
really,
worse stuff on the album than this. I felt like
there is.
Among my ranks, this is with the more positive side of things. What about, okay, so we'll just go to ranks and we'll hit Nate. Nate, what'd you think? 3. Joe, what'd you think?
4.
4. 5.
We can count.
I gave it a 5. The next song, though, Once.
Oh.
Ballad sounds cool. Intro music sounds halfway decent, but yet another vocal atrocity.
Yeah.
A
Did
vocal
anybody else-
travesty.
Did anybody else get Genesis vibes from this?
No, because I don't want to offend fucking Genesis and Phil Collins.
Okay, fair enough. That's my bad. So like all the synthesized, all the electronic crap in the background just had like a Genesis vibe to me. It's just like, oh my God, he's becoming such a poser now. The band has to sound like other bands.
I will only listen to this song once.
Same.
I gave it a 2.
Joe, would you give it?
2.
Gave it a 3.5. The next song, Fire in the Hole, was on the Lethal Weapon 4 soundtrack.
That's unfortunate.
And
Yeah,
in my opinion, this song should have started the album. I listened to this one specifically as I was, gathering my thoughts before we started going on the air. And I feel, for the most part, this is a very standard Hagar sounding and the most palatable on the album. I feel like Gary comes in here sounding just like Sammy, but in the overall, the song's pretty heavy, and if it were a Sammy song, it would be one of the weaker efforts.
Yeah.
It's bad. I mean, it's to come from Sammy Hagar, who is really trying to be himself and give his all, to this effort where it's obvious there are a lot of people mixing in the pot. Hey, make it sound like this. Hey, do it kind of like this. Hey, do it kind of like that. It comes off as very, 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 very noticeable that this is not Gary Cherone naturally in the pocket singing with his heart. And that's where I can't even musically connect. I gave Fire in the Hole a 2.25.
Joe.
I don't really have nothing on this. The only thing I got is this was the last track that Michael Anthony recorded on this album. After that, the rest is all Eddie. All around, man, this was just not good. I gave this one, I think, 3.5.
I blew this one out of the water, guys. I gave it a 6. kind of dug it. It's pretty heavy. Has its moments. As I said, is the most listenable and palatable on the record. Yeah, because the next song, Josefina. My literal note is, what are we doing?
Mhm.
You gave it a 1. You gave it a 1. Nate gave it a 1.
I'm not even saying anything. That's my fucking response. What are we doing? 1. That's what we're doing. We're giving it a 1.
What'd you give it, Joe? 2? I'm right there with you. With a 2. With a 2.
It's like we would waste more time trying to talk about that song than the value of that song is worth. Moving on. Year to the Day, also known as Allison Chains Light.
So I said this is long AF. And I said in my notes, probably Gary's best vocal performance on the record. I mean, that I know that's not saying a lot, but I mean, I kind of dug it, but it's about a half point below some of my favorite parts. I gave it a 5.5.
Ooh.
I know. What'd you give it, Joe? Or do you have anything to say? And then what'd you give it? I'm sorry.
Ooh, I got nothing, bro. I just gave it a 2.75.
Nate,
I was actually a little more liberal on this song because it is, in my opinion, Allison Chains Light. And I gave it a 4.25.
the next song is an instrumental primary, and this is just Eddie messing around, making some noise. He has some neat little ditties in here where he makes some like Middle Eastern sound noises. But it just doesn't really sit well too much with me. I gave it a 4.
Does anybody else feel like the last 3 songs of this album are just like secretly hella political? Primary, Ballot or the Bullet. How many say I? Like, whoa. 1998, bro. I know that Clinton just got his dick sucked in the Oval Office, but it's not the end of the world yet.
Yeah, maybe so. Anybody got any ranks for primary?
3.75, my friend.
From Nate, and what'd you give it, Joe?
2.
2.
And also, I will say about primary, that's interesting to note that what Joe had said about Michael Anthony only playing bass on select songs, you talking about how he was dabbling in drums, because it's like, is this just him by himself doing all of this?
You know what? It said I looked up the track.
But the track could be misleading because they've always given writing credits to pretty much everybody, I thought, unless they didn't on this album. Which I'm glad, Brando, for this episode, you didn't go, hey, Nate, who's the band? Because I'd have been like,
You don't even know.
I think I know, but I hope I'm not wrong. He
plays, Eddie played guitar, bass guitar on tracks 4 through 6, 8, 9, and 11. Keyboards, drums, and electric sitar on tracks 1 and 10. Backing vocals and lead vocals for a song coming up. So, and then Michael Anthony only played bass on 2, 3, and 7.
Yep.
Damn.
That was not Metallica texting me that time.
It was strange.
Hey, what's up, Brando? This is strange, and I'm sorry you had to listen to Van Halen 3.
Here's some free tickets to see Metallica.
So the next song is Ballot or the Bullet, and it was chunky. I thought the guitars were a little interesting here. He's trying something different, but the vocals were not appealing to me. I gave it a 4.
I would delete this one. 1.25.
Wow. Joe?
I did a 1.5.
Guys, we made it to the last track on
Thank
this
God.
Ew.
How many say I? Now, look, I have a lot of respect for Eddie Van Halen.
Yes.
And I know that this song is just his song. And he even sings lead on it. And apparently, from what I heard, he had to be talked into singing lead on it.
Oh.
I wish they wouldn't have.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the reason why my rank is so high on this is because You know, like the last song, I gave it a 4, and I'm like 3 points ahead of you guys because I actually kind of dug the different direction of the guitar. I thought, like, man, this is really neat. He's kind of going into he down-tuned. Eddie Van Halen down-tuned. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear that again maybe on the next record. It's going to be pretty neat to hear. But this one, I thought the piano playing and composition was just fucking fantastic. But the vocals are just unpleasant. Like, they've been all over the place on here. You had a couple of shining moments with Gary. Most of it's been very just bad vocals or bad lyrics. Unfortunately, this song is just, as a ballad, which could have been great. If you could have had this, I mean, because we heard some ballads with Sammy that were like maybe not quite cut the mustard compared to some of his other ones. You know, I don't know, man. I just feel bad that this song doesn't get a chance to be good, because instantly it sounds like somebody who can't sing. And I know Eddie sings backing vocals, and they're able to do a lot of good harmonies. Does anybody have anything to add?
I think that
Eddie
musically
should
this.
step
Oh,
the
go ahead.
guitar. I'm sorry. I think
No,
Eddie
you go
should have
first.
stuck the guitar. Eddie should have just stuck the guitar. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, he hasn't had a lead vocal part in any of these albums. Like, why start now? No, that's all I had on it.
Well, as I said, he
To
kind of
me,
had
I
to be
think-
talked into it.
To me, I think musically, there's so much potential. And this is Eddie being brave and stepping out of his comfort zone. However, vocally speaking, it just does not sit at all smooth. And what does that sit? Let me just ask this question. How does that bode to your new lead singer that your out song, the thing that people are going to end listening to your album first playthrough in, is not your lead singer, who is actually a meant to be lead singer? It's your lead guitar player singing when he maybe shouldn't have. It definitely, leads to, well, why did Cherone not stick around for Van Halen 4? Well, here's why. There was no confidence in him. And obviously the reception from the fans was, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Like, this was a rotten shit of an overall album. But how many say has some shining spots in it again? And I ranked it a little bit higher than some of the other tunes. I gave it a 3.75.
What'd you give it, Joe?
It's another 2.
I gave it a 3.25. So, guys, that wraps up Van Halen 3. Brando's average album rank was 4.18. Nate's was 2.68. And Joe's was 3.06 with a master rank of 3.14.
Damn, it almost got a 3. Van Halen 3 almost got a 3.
I know.
Nice.
Wait, what was the total?
3.31. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I might have said that backwards, and that's my fault. The highest ranked song on the album is the intro track. The instrumental is 6.5, and the lowest
Josefina.
is Once. No,
Oh!
no, you're right. Josefina, I'm sorry, 1.66.
Yikes.
Fellas, let me just say, being a Metallica fan and going into Saint Anger, I tried to be fair, even though there's some spots on that record I do like. There's spots I don't like. I knew the album front and back going into that, and I kind of felt like that's going to be one of my lower ranked ones, and it was. I finally found an album that, like, I need to be in a mood to listen to Saint Anger. I need to be in a mood to listen to some of the songs on there. Even the songs I like, I need to be in a mood for it. I will never be in a mood to listen to Van Halen 3 ever again. No. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if you guys have already gone forward and finished listening and ranking Van Halen. Going from this album to the last album has completely changed my perception of that last album. Like, yeah. So like we'll talk about that on the next episode, guys. A different kind of truth.
Also, let me say, if you haven't, also check out the Live in Tokyo Dome performance around that same different kind of truth release. They performed the Tokyo Dome, and I tell you what, it's only Van Halen tunes, so no Van Hagar to be found.
Yeah.
But they pull out some pretty deep cuts that were really awesome to hear live that I was like, holy shit, get it, boys. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They were on that. And this is Michael Anthony's last record with the band, so it's Boy Vianji.
Buen viage.
To him here as he takes off. The band would definitely be in a state of flux. Eddie would be going through rehab and getting clean from alcoholism and whatever other ailments. Just rough go for the band here, and then from there forward, and then we're gonna pick it up on the next episode. But guys, thank you once again for joining me, Nate, Joe.
Yo,
this ride has been interesting, and unfortunately, we had to hit this big, giant, gaping pothole.
we only had to hit it once though.
I mean, yeah, we're done with it. We're absolutely
A
done.
little bit of aftershock left over.
But guys, you guys can check us out all over the interwebs. Where can they check us out, Nate?
Oh, get us on rankemall.rocks. That's our .com. Go to YouTube, search Rank 'Em All Podcast. Subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell. Make sure you never miss an episode. Go on Facebook, like us there. Go on Instagram, hit us up in that spot. Go on to all the different amazing podcasting platforms that you're listening on, whether that's Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify Podcast, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, Podbean, Castbox, TuneIn, iHeartRadio. Alexa can probably play us and shit. I still don't know. I'll figure that out hopefully soon. But yeah, man, I think that's all the different places I've covered our bases.
Well, guys, until next time. We've been here at Rank 'Em All Van Halen with Brando, Nate, and Joe, and we're looking for a different kind of truth, and we're going to find that on the next episode, guys. Until then, thank you guys again for listening. Tell us what your ranks are. We're very interested to hear what you got to say about Van Halen 3. Yeah, down below. Comment below. And we'll see you then. We'll see you next week, guys. Have a good one. Later on.